Today I'm going to talk about the Occupy Wall Street movement and its relationship with certain hip hop artists. And I'm going to discuss some of those hip hop artists of the past 10 or 15 years and how they've fared in political and social movements. I'm going to start the discussion by talking about the Catholic Church because I think part of the church's history relates very well to what has been going on in this relationship between hip hop artists and their quest for achieving social and political change. 500 years ago, Pope Leo X was elected to the papacy, and he was committed to rebuilding St. Peter's Basilica and to beautifying Rome. Now, in order to pay for this, the Pope decided to sell indulgences. An indulgence is forgiveness for your sins in exchange for cash. So it involves no true act of penance, no true commitment to being sorry for committing those sins. It was simply about giving money. So the more wealthy you were, the more likely you were to achieve salvation simply by handing over money. And a lot of people saw this as a corruption of the church's values, and rightly so. Now, how does that relate in any way to hip-hop or to their involvement in social and political movements of the last 10 or 15 years? Well, very easily. Hip-hop of the last decade, in my opinion, has been less committed to the art, to the culture, to the true nature of the art form of hip-hop and rap, then it has been about making money and about propelling the industry forward. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but those roots, the fact that the artists of the last 10 years have been committed more to making money than about the art form, I believe those roots shape the solutions that these artists have to social and to political problems. In 2004, Puffy had his Citizen Change Vote or Die movement in order to get out the vote, to encourage people to vote. Now, that was a massive failure. It was less about educating people on government, on policy and politics, and more about using his celebrity and about defining the movement by his celebrity. And so it was using the same means that he used to propel his career to affect political change. And that was a mistake, and it led to failure. Now, flash forward a little bit, Russell Simmons and Kanye West paid a visit to Occupy Wall Street in New York a month ago. And Russell Simmons has been successful as an artist, as a businessman, and as a marketeer. Unfortunately, Russell Simmons also markets a product called the Rush Card. Now, he deems this a means of getting people who have little access to credit to help them establish credit history. That's all fine and well, and it's a prepaid credit card, except for a few things. One, Consumer Reports would say that prepaid credit cards are a very poor way of getting people's credit history to be established. Another, the Rush Card was more expensive than opening up a traditional checking account at a local or regional bank. And third, the whole Occupy Wall Street movement is about fixing problems with the current economy. And part of the reason that the economy is in its current state is because people were spending money that they had no business spending. They were given credit, and they shouldn't be. And so marketing the Rush Card is only leading people into this culture whereby you just swipe it, you get the plastic card, and all will be well. Just within the last 48 hours, Jay-Z and his Rockaware clothing line decided to market a shirt that said Occupy All Streets. And it was clearly a take on the Occupy Wall Street movement. And this is just as meaningless, to be honest, as Puffy's Vote or Die t-shirt. The Rockaware website has since pulled the shirt over controversy. But when questioned about it originally, the spokesperson for the clothing line said that they had no plans on donating any proceeds from sale of the shirt to any social cause or to Occupy Wall Street or anything that might affect political change. It was simply marketing off of the movement. It was simply saying that if you wear this shirt, you are expressing a certain belief, and that's all that's necessary. All will be well. It has nothing to do, again, with education on government, on policy, or on politics. So you take Puffy in 2004, you take Russell Simmons and Kanye a month ago, you take Jay-Z in the last 48 hours, and you take their actions and how they seek to promote social and political change, and you can see that there's a contrast, there's a disconnect, and a lack of credibility on this. In the early days of Occupy Wall Street, you had Tom Morello, the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine, who showed up to a lot of fanfare. He was welcomed. He was applauded for attending the protests and for playing. But Tom Morello built his career off of Rage Against the Machine. This Occupy Wall Street fits right in with what Tom Morello's career has been about. And unfortunately, or not, Jay-Z's career has been built on Big Pimpin'. There's a disconnect there, and there is a glaring lack of credibility in the way people have approached this. And then you take someone like Wyclef and the work he's done in Haiti. And I know that's his homeland, so there might be something a little bit deeper in his connection to that. But you see that good deeds are what demonstrate his commitment to social or political problems. It is not simply about a superficial act. It is not simply about handing over cash and therefore demonstrating your commitment, your faith, your fidelity to things. Occupy Wall Street is about social and political change. You artists, you're wealthy, and yet you commit so little, such a not wholly significant amount of your wealth to social change. You use celebrity, you use marketing, and you use profiteering in order to demonstrate that. You don't even use your art as a way to demonstrate or to enhance the commitment to these social causes. And you do so little to educate people on government, on policy, and politics. And you end up failing in your goals of empowering people and in affecting social and political change. And I would say that perhaps you either need to examine the connection between your roots and your solutions to these problems, or at the very least, just stick to what you know. Just do that. If politics isn't your thing, then don't do politics. So how do we bring this all together, that discussion of the Catholic Church and the hip-hop artists and their connection to social movements and Occupy Wall Street? Martin Luther was a priest in the 1500s, and he saw this selling of indulgences as a great corruption of the church, its message, and its commitment to the faith. And so Martin Luther went ahead and led a reformation against the Catholic Church, and he had one good thing among many to say about that.